Now that we have applied all of our liquids and our cream, we're going to follow up with our powders. We're going to need a powder bronzer, a powder blush, and some setting powder. You have the option to either use a brightening setting powder or a setting powder that matches your skin tone. I'll start off with Huda Beauty setting powder, and this is the shade Kunafa. To take my concealer brush, and I'm going to pat that right into my concealer that I previously applied, just so I can make sure that there aren't going to be any creases. I'm even going to do it on my eyelid because I'm going to apply some powder to that as well. Use a puff, or you can use a blender to set. I'm going to use my puff, and I'm just going to tap that right into that setting powder and then tap the excess onto my hand. Apply that right under my eye. You can either let that sit there and bake, or you could blend it out immediately. It's totally up to your preference. I'm gonna tap back into that excess and tap that onto my lid. And I'm only doing this because I'm not gonna wear eyeshadow today. So if you are wearing eyeshadow, then you could just skip this step. And as you can see, I am bringing it down around my nose as well, and kind of right on top of where we would have blush. I'm going to follow up with NYX Cosmetics bronzer. I am using the shade Butta Off. So I'm just going to tap my brush right into that. I'm going to use the same placement that we did in the previous video, so right on or above your cheekbone. And again, we're going to apply it to the temple area, and you can also apply it to your jawline, especially if you have a tan. And I'm just going to do one side so y'all can see the difference. The purpose of setting your creams and liquids is to get everything to stay in place, but also it helps with the longevity of your makeup. Final step, we are going to apply our blush, and this is a powder blush, and this is by NYX Cosmetics. It is their Buttermilk blush, and this is the shade Back to Butter. My angled brush, this is my favorite blush brush, and literally just a little bit, because a little bit goes a long way. So I'm going to start at my temple and bring that down right to the apples of my cheeks and really press that in. I'm going to show y'all the difference between a side that's already been set. You can see I am matte, which is perfect because I'm oily. And also this is going to help with the longevity. So this is going to last throughout the day. I could not imagine going out with my skin this dewy. And as you can see, it's not, you can't see the color that well as on this side. We're reinforcing the colors that we previously applied in the cream form with the powder. Makes such a difference. Next, I'm going to use Fenty Beauty setting powder, and this is in the shade Honey. And I'm going to use this as my all over because it matches with my skin tone. And I'm pressing that into my hand. Also going to set that right under that bronzer that we just applied. And I like to push it into my smile line as well. And really, I like to apply this wherever I know that I'm going to be oily. The bridge of my nose, on the top of my lip, especially if I know I'm going to be sweating or it's hot outside. And then right here in this area, again, I told y'all I don't apply foundation, so this is kind of going to be like my foundation, and it's going to help take away that shine that was previously there. I kind of carved out my cheek, and I'm just going to let that sit for a little bit. Go in with my bronzer right on my nose. So I still take a fluffy brush. You don't want a harsh line, you really want it to be soft, and I feel like these brushes help with that. Taking that right up to my brow bone and bringing it down to the side of my nose so you can see that contour, because again, we do not want to look flat. So now I have set both sides of my face, and the final step, we're going to take a fluffy brush and we're going to dust off any excess powder because we don't want to have any harsh lines. And we don't need that extra powder as well. So that looks good. Now I'm going to finish up and come back. Just to recap, you want to make sure that you are using a setting powder to set underneath your eyes or your whole face. You can either use a setting powder that is the same shade, or you could go a couple shades lighter. It just depends on your preference. Next, you want to make sure that you are setting your bronzer, because that is going to help with the longevity of your makeup. And lastly, don't forget to apply a powder blush. This is going to make sure that you stay flushed all day. In our next video, we're going to discuss setting sprays. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe, and also follow me on my other platforms.